guys, it's Kay, and today I'm here to review Rose Elle by Belle Tress. I've got my little card here. I am wearing her in the color Chocolate with Caramel. Yes, I say caramel, not caramel. My husband and I fight about that all the time. And you can see it's a very warm shade of brown. She does have rooting at the top here, and it's pretty dark. It's pretty much black rooting. She does have a monofilament side part, and that basically means that you've got about from here to here of parting space. The rest of her is going to be open wefting on the sides and on the back. She has a lace front, which I know I've got my bio hair out, so it can be kind of hard to see. Now, because of the rooting, you can see here, you've got knots. Oh, do you have knots? This is definitely a wig that I would suggest taking some concealer, some foundation, powder, whatever it is you like to use, and put it on the underside of the lace, because what that does is it conceals the knots so that you can't see them, and it kind of makes it blend in with your, with your forehead or your hairline a little bit better, especially if you don't have hair or you don't pull your hair out like I have to because I have a widow's peak. That definitely helps to conceal that, makes it look a lot more natural. You may also want to consider with this one just taking some tweezers and kind of tweezing along the hairline, because you can see it kind of goes from nothing to suddenly very dense. It's also got a perfect hairline, so maybe just take some tweezers, thin it out a little bit, make it look not so perfect. That way you're not drawing attention there. Other than that, the color, you can tell here, it's a very kind of warm brown. Now, in some lights, it does pull some red. So red doesn't flatter me. It just, my skin tone doesn't mesh well with it. But I would say for the most part, it just looks like a warm chocolatey brown. It's like I said, only sometimes are you gonna really pull red out of it. It doesn't have much in the way of highlights with that caramel. It's all kind of blended together as if it's one color. So you can kind of see here. But again, these roots are pretty dark at the top here with that being black. One thing that I would say is she is kind of shiny. So I would probably take some dry shampoo or maybe the John Renault wand, the powder wand, and just kind of go over the top here where the rooting is. Now down further, down the length of the hair, you don't really have that shine. So it's really just at the top where the black is. She's got these awesome beachy waves. I mean, these are just like the epitome of beachy waves. It really looks like you had your hair braided and, woke up in the morning and took your braid out, and this was the result. And it's nice too because the waves aren't perfect. A lot of wigs, you almost have to kind of deconstruct them and play with them and maybe run a wide tooth comb through them, break them up a little bit to make them look more realistic. This one out of the box, I mean, these waves are just perfectly imperfect. And they do look really natural. Now she does not have much of a bang, really no bang at all. Very long in the front. She does have some layers though, you can see, especially this tag is just in my way. But you can see she does have some longer layers down towards the bottom here that are really kind of, I like them. They just make it, they give it some texture. She is quite long, at least on me, I think she's long. You can kind of see here what we're dealing with. Comes way down past my shoulders. And you'll see too when I do my 360 how far down my back she comes. She's pretty long. I would say the longest layer we're probably looking at about 19 or 20 inches. Shortest layers maybe 16 inches or so from the sides down. One thing that I love about the Belle Tress wigs, this is my second one that I've owned. The fibers that they use are very realistic. They're very kind of finer fibers. They're not real coarse. They're not real thick. And they give you a lot of hair in their pieces. They really do. And what's nice about it is because it's a lighter fiber, it doesn't take a lot of permatease for you to be able to give her a lot of body and really fluff her up and, kind of have that crazy 80s metal hairband, you know, sort of feel, which I love because product of the 80s. But yeah, you can really fluff her up. You can get some good volume out of her. Some people may be overwhelmed by it. Totally understandable. It is a lot of hair. You can definitely thin her out and kind of tame her back, you know. And even if you don't thin her out, you can still definitely get a more tamed look out of her. So you can see, I mean, she does calm down pretty well. Let me go ahead and do a quick 360 for you. I'm going to bring all the hair forward so that you can kind of get an idea, because it really is a lot of hair. But it's so lightweight. These fibers are so nice. They're so lightweight. Belle Tress wigs are probably the most comfortable wig that I have encountered thus far. Aesthetica is a very close second. John Renault's, they're comfortable, but I seem to feel like his wigs are just heavier. I don't know if it's a heavier cap that he uses or the fibers are just heavier kind of fiber. I don't know. But the Belle Tress and the Aesthetica, it seems like you get a lot of hair for very little weight, and it's so comfortable and they're so breathable, and I love the way that they're constructed. So here she is all to the front. And let's see, this is my left. And my right. This is all in the back. You can see these gorgeous waves. It's so much hair. I love it. Okay. So once again, I just can't say enough about how awesome these fibers are. Being very thin, it's very dense hair. You get a lot of hair for as thin as it is. These waves are just so perfect. It almost reminds me of like mermaid hair, if that makes sense, because it's so long and I'm so short that it seems, you know, even longer on me, because I'm just not a very long person. I don't know. Yeah, you can see that. I guess there's a little bit of, in this light it does kind of catch a little bit of highlights, I guess. One thing that I did have right out of the box, and this is easy to fix, so don't let it turn you off. She does this. Not a big deal. All you gotta really do is wet it down, pull it back, let it dry. Or I think it was Taz in one of her videos had said about using a steamer on it and kind of steaming the fibers to stand up more, so that way they're not hanging in your face. And that wouldn't be a bad idea. I could definitely see how that would help. And the one other thing I did want to mention, the cap construction. Normally a lot of manufacturers have the Velcro tabs at the back, and one thing that's awesome about this wig is, I mean, I don't know if you're anything like me. I'm constantly adjusting my size because it depends on how long my bio hair is at that time. I need to loosen it a little bit, or maybe I just got a haircut, I need to tighten it a little bit. So those Velcro tabs can kind of lose their like stickiness, if you want to call it that, after a while. This one actually has adjustable tabs, so you can, it's almost like a bra strap. You can pull it tighter or you can loosen it up, which that is so nice because that doesn't wear out nearly as fast as a Velcro tab does after you've had to attach it, reattach it, pull it, tighten it, loosen it. So that's really kind of nice. I think that'll make it hold up a lot longer. One other thing that kind of comes with having the finer, thinner hair fiber, you want to be really careful combing it. You know, I would never take a brush to hair like this because it's sort of delicate in the sense that it stretches easily. And so once you start stretching the fibers, you start seeing the like the little spiral, the ones that don't look quite right. You can tell it's a fiber that's just been stretched out, almost looks like a slinky, and those start to stand out and those start to create kind of a frizzy look. So you definitely want to be very gentle when you're combing her. Start down on the ends, comb your ends, and then sort of move up the length of the hair. What I always do, especially with my Belle Tress wigs, I'll finger comb them first. I'll go through and I'll take it off my head at the end of the day. I'll put it on my mannequin head, and I'll just go through and I'll finger comb the best I can. And that's when I'll take it's not the John Renault one, I know, but I've got a very wide tooth comb that I really like to use. So I'll take that and I'll just start at the ends and then I'll kind of work my way up. So that way you're not pulling, you know, and putting tension on the hair fibers. You'll get a lot more life out of them that way too. Another thing, like I was mentioning earlier about the shine, when you get wigs like this that are maybe a little too shiny for you right out of the box, it does help to wash them. I've heard of some people putting a little bit of vinegar, like a little capful of vinegar in the, I call it my bath water because I'm not really washing it like I would wash my normal hair. I more or less give my wigs a bath. I have not tried it, but I've heard that works pretty well. But definitely using like some kind of synthetic wig shampoo in there, that will help get rid of some of the shine. It helps loosen up the fibers a bit too, which sometimes out of the box, you know, when it ships and whatnot, the fibers all settle. It tends to look a bit more flat when you put it on. But if you kind of get your fingers in here and loosen up those fibers a bit, they won't be so flat. Again, I love that this one has so much volume. I just can't get over it because it's so lightweight. I wish I could just hand it to you and you could feel it because it's a very lightweight wig. It's very comfortable. And I don't know what it is about their cap construction, but it almost seems like it's like a lighter material that they make it out of than, say, John Renault's, which I like his. And in the winter, it keeps my head very warm. But in the summertime, I hesitate to break out the John Renault's because of the fact that their caps are just thicker and heavier. And I'm not sure what the difference in material is, but Belle Tress got it going on. So, oh, I forgot to mention the lace front goes, it's temple to temple, so it's not all the way across. It goes about here to here. You've got lace. And then you can definitely see, because I don't pull my bio hair out much right here, but you can definitely see this hard line where that is. So I don't know that I really want to wear her off my face much unless I'm only pulling her back where the lace front is. I don't know that she'd be a good one to really pull, you know, all the way back. You could probably do something like this. If you just sort of leave it loose. That doesn't look bad. That kind of hides it. Actually, something like this would be really cute with a wavier wig. She's definitely got some styling potential. I tend to sometimes take it out of the box and think, okay, it's a monofilament part. I'm just going to wear it down all the time. Never style it. But that's not the case. You can definitely style monopart wigs, you know, half up, half back. I also, and especially right now because this keeps falling in my face because I haven't fixed it yet, I get these little clips. These guys are like the best ever. Because you can do kind of a cute, that sort of pulls it off your face a little bit. Super cute, right? Or even just pulling back this side. This is probably my favorite because I do this when I go to work all the time. But yeah, these little clips, man, they are just awesome. You can create any hairstyle, throw it in your pocket, throw it in your purse, whatever. I also keep some of the bigger clips so that way if I want to do like a half up kind of deal while I'm at work, and this is my go-to style also. Something like that. That keeps all of it off your face and it looks really cute. So again, this is Rose Ella by Belle Tress. I am Kay, and if you have not already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and I'll see you next time.
Where's your crown, king?